Yeah, you just prayed that we'd be good fans. You guys are amazing fans. I think you've seen just a barrage of social media reports from that Kansas State game. How you, as fans, influenced everyone from their quarterback he's trying to raise money for his high school principal who has cancer. After that game, BYU fans poured into his site, gave $5, $10, $20, double, tripled the amount of money that he had raised for his principal. That's you. That's your legacy. So it's incredible. And it means so much for Kalani and for our team to walk into that stadium and to have that kind of environment on a late Saturday night, and really no negative energy in the whole place. I don't think there was any negative energy towards Kansas State. It was all positive energy towards BYU. And when they left, and you'll hear from Kalani in a minute, from their head coach to the players, you heard Avery, their quarterback, saying, that was weird. I've never been around such good people. They were like encouraging me. That positive energy, support, faith in program goes deep, goes a long way. I've been all across the country to football games. I've been in so many stadiums. No stadium does it anywhere near what happens in LaVell Edwards Stadium. So that's a credit to you. It's a credit to David Almadova and our amazing marketing team. If you watch opposing teams during the third and fourth quarter little split there, they're not looking at their coaches who are talking to them, and all the players are looking at the fire dancers and Cosmo, and they're just like, where am I right now? And you saw the comments, they were saying they did all this and none of them were drinking. We're bringing some more chairs in the back right now, so it's great to see everyone here today. When Process picked up that ball on that scoop and score and ran it in, what were you guys thinking at that time? I know what you were thinking because the people in Salt Lake heard the stadium. It was so loud. So
it was Kansas.
That's right. I could keep talking forever, and I'm not going to do it because Kalani's here, and I want to turn the time over to him. Before we get there, I'm going to talk about some upcoming events. One of them is today. The softball team plays against Snow College today at 6:30 p.m. at Gail Miller Field. If you've never been to a softball or baseball game, what else are you going to do tonight? Come over. Come to the game. It's the greatest setting in all of America to watch a baseball softball game. So that's my pitch. Come over and watch them. And we got the best coach in college softball. Gordon Eakin's been doing this at a high level for a long time. You'd be very impressed. Tomorrow, the women's soccer, we play against Oklahoma State at 7 p.m. on South Field. If you were there the other night when we got after Utah, that was very impressive. Boom. We have a young team, and they're just figuring out how to fight and compete, and it's so fun watching them get there. Women's volleyball is also tomorrow versus Colorado at 7 p.m. in the Smith Fieldhouse, so double duty. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow night. Nothing is more important than coming down and supporting the Cougs, so come on down. Friday, Swim and Dive has a blue and white meet at 5 p.m. at the Richards Building pool. Saturday, women's volleyball plays Texas Tech at 1 p.m. in the Smith Fieldhouse. Softball against Weber State at 1 p.m. on Gail Miller Field. And women's soccer versus Iowa State at 7 p.m. on South Field. So this is quite a week. And y'all know what's happening on Saturday early in the morning, right? We're going after the Baylor Bears, who is a very good team. Our team is very good too. They're 2-2. They could be 2-0, 4-0, very easy. So our team, our staff, we're not sleeping on them. This is a big game. Cannot wait for this game. Before I turn the time over to Kalani, let me just say one thing about the the Cruising with the Cougs. You've seen the advertisements all around. And many of you have been on cruises. Have you ever been on a cruise without smoking or drinking or gambling? The answer is no. This is the first cruise this size of its kind on planet Earth. There's not going to be any of that stuff. What you will have is just a bunch of people, like-minded BYU fans, having an absolute party. And the people that are going to be there and that you're going to be hanging out with at the pool and your kids and grandkids, have you heard of a guy named Jimmer Fredette? He's going to be there with his family hanging out. It's Jim McMahon, Tom Hommel, Mark Wilson, Gifford Nielsen, David Osmond, Savannah Stevens. She's from England. She was Glinda for 3 years in Wicked. And she was also Mary in the church's production, so many productions of The Birth of the Savior. Comedian Steve Solberg, Truman Brothers, Cosmo, the Cougarettes, and most importantly, Kalani Sitake is going to be there, so it's going to be sweet. If you use the code Cougar Club 25 at checkout, you'll get a $50 of onboard credit that can be used towards drink packages, the right drink packages, not like, and you can use it towards gift shops and excursions. Troy from Charter Kings is here to answer any questions, and he'll be in the back after this thing. But I encourage you, look, we're not doing this as a big fundraiser. This is the first thing of its kind. We hope it goes great. We know it's going to go great. We're praying for good weather already in April. And we just hope that you have a complete blast. That's why we're doing it. So it's going to be sweet. Now, with that, Kalani yesterday went up and shared some messages with the Cougar Club members in Salt Lake City. It was outstanding. You've heard him several times. You know he's genuine, he's real, he'll answer your questions. He also has a different take on life. And the different take is what I love most about him. He's completely authentic. He shared with me yesterday an actual dream that he had. He said, I was dreaming and I was filling out my March Madness basketball bracket. You want to hear his Final Four? His Final Four in his dream was BYU Provo, BYU Idaho, BYU Arizona, BYU Virginia. It's his dream. He's like, look at all the youth in this world that need what we have right here at BYU. And his dream is, I hope one day that we have a BYU Arizona, a BYU Virginia. And that's just like a behind the scenes of what goes through Kalani's mind. He loves BYU ever since he's been a little kid. And I know you're sick of seeing me and hearing me, so I'm going to turn the time over to our head coach, Kalani Sitake.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I'm not 6'6", so it'll be easier for you to hear me on the microphone. I'm so excited to be here. It was exciting to be in Salt Lake yesterday, and I love being here with Cougar Club. My father's a Cougar Club member, so he raised me the right way, which is I always say I don't remember when I first started cheering for BYU. I just always did, and so that was always in my blood from the very beginning. It's why I chose to be a Niners fan, because they had the most Cougars on their team at that time when I was younger, right? And it's why I chose to cheer for Vice Kahema when he's a punt returner. I didn't really care if the team was going to go 3 and out. I wanted them to punt to him or score quickly so they can kick off to him. I just wanted to see him return the ball. And then same things, like I like Boston Celtics because they had our Cougar basketball alumni on their team. So that's kind of how I roll. So you guys know, you guys shaking your heads. You feel you do the same thing too, right? So that's why we love Jamal and Taysom and Puka and all the guys that are out there in the NFL representing so well. I love being here because I love talking about BYU football. But before I do, I just want to recognize all the hard work. I think Chad did a great job at the stadium. It's a spectacle, and it's like I have to catch myself because I'm watching it most of the time. I'm like, oh yeah, what were you saying, Jay? And hey, Roddy, what do you guys need? It's like 4th down, go for it. I don't care. Oh, it's 4th and 7. Okay, we better punt then, I guess. Or maybe we should go for it. I don't know, but no, but it's because before I was a football player for Lavelle Edwards, and before I was a head coach at BYU football, I've always been a fan. So I represent you guys there, and I understand the frustrations. I've been there before as a fan, and my goal is to make everybody happy. And in that moment when we were going through that middle 8, the crazy thing is we had K-Pop, Kelly Paping, our special teams coordinator, and DN's coach give a presentation on the middle 8 where we're trying to teach our team more about complementary football and that why we decide to defer most of the time. And we want to win the last 4 minutes of the half and then win the first 4 minutes of the second half. And so when he gave that talk, I mean, I think the middle 8 we won 31-0. So, yeah, so I had him give a presentation yesterday on the middle 60. So we'd like to win the middle 60 minutes. That'd be great, which is the first 30 minutes in the first half and the second 30 minutes in the second half. And we'll see how it goes this weekend. But no, it was amazing. It was the momentum was unbelievable, and the environment was great. And I love showing off our BYU fans, and whether we're on the road, I love that we see the royal blue everywhere. But at home especially, I love when opposing teams come here and they leave with a different impression of college football than anywhere else. And that means a lot to me. I'm friends with most of these coaches that come in, and the majority of them, and I know a lot of the coaches on the staff and the players. I mean, Keaton Slovis was here last year, but you remember when he was here as a freshman and we beat USC in that game. He mentioned it was a little different, a little weird, but we try to explain to people that's the spirit, But I think the spirit can work through so many different venues, including BYU football, which is important to us. And as you look at this place, I was on the show last night, and I mentioned that it's more than just football, and you guys believe that. But the way we play, and our players love representing BYU, but they love representing you guys. And so when we were all at our best, there's times I wish we were definitely at our best in the middle 8. I'd like to be our best all the time. But when we can count on us being our best as a football team and as a fan base, we can really change the world. We can do some really cool things. We can change lives. We can change reputations and impressions on what we're all about. And I think that's what matters the most. It's what attracted me to wanting to become a coach, because Lavelle Edwards did that for me. And when I got to play for Lavelle, I didn't realize that all he did was, and it's something that was really deep and profound, is he used the gospel and incorporated it into our football culture. And so I'd be foolish not to do the same. So what we're doing is what Lavelle did for me, just doing it in a more modern time where you have to deal with tablets and phones and short attention spans and things like that. But it works. It just shows that the gospel works in so many different ways, and it allows me to be a much better person. So I love being in this position. I'm looking forward to this cruise. I don't know why, but I'm trying to lose weight, and it's not working out so well. So because I stress eat or I celebrate eat. So I like eating, and I don't mind it. So I don't know if I'm going to look any better at this cruise, but when I don't have my shirt on, guys, please be nice. My family and I, years ago, we were trying to decide a place to go, and everywhere we went, it's not a problem, but we see BYU fans everywhere. And so it's like my kids, as a family, decided we're going to try to go to the Bahamas. We've never been there, and we heard it was really cool. And we heard they have this lazy river that's not lazy river. It's like a rapid river that's maybe not the safest thing to have, which is why they don't have it in the U.S. But anyways, we go out there, and first 10 minutes, we jump into this river thing, and you're in a tube. And so I'm in a tube, and I'm like, okay, no one said anything. No one said, this is pretty cool. Not that I don't mind it, but my family knows that if you talk BYU football, I'm going to stop everything. It's why whenever we go to the movies as a family, we take 2 cars, because if someone says, hey, Coach, what's going on? I'm going to stop and talk BYU football, and my family just moves on, goes home, goes to sleep, and I show up later. But anyways, That's kind of what I would do. So if someone wants to talk, take pictures, I'm always going to do that. Don't be afraid to ask. But in this moment, I think the family was trying to find times with just ourselves, and we're on the river rapid thing, maybe 30 seconds, and I hear this, Coach Kalani. And my family's like, you got to be kidding. We're not even anywhere near that. But it's a group of teenagers come running over, and they have a camera, a GoPro in their hand, and I'm sitting on top of a tube, just like vulnerable and not the best. You can't suck in your stomach when you're sitting on top of a tube. It doesn't work. And so I thought quickly about what should I do. And the only thing I could think about is just take the water and splash it out of my belly button, I guess. And that's what I did. So anyways, I tell you that story because I know that those pictures probably showed up on social media. Just cut me some slack, guys. You know what I mean? I'm going to have a farmer's tan. We're going to have fun. I'm going to do karaoke and all that fun stuff. And you guys come out there, it's going to be so much fun where I can actually sit back, chill, and talk BYU football. What better vacation is that? That's a celestial vacation to me. So anyways, looking forward to that moment, and then hopefully you guys can join me there. That we can make it a big deal and maybe take two cruises next time. But anyways, I want to talk quickly about our team and what the message is this week. We had a great weekend. That was awesome. You guys were amazing. And I think the goal was last year when we were going to the Big 12 was uncharted territory. There's some things that we didn't know. Now they knew, and they weren't really proud of how it worked out. I mean, we went 5-7, but it wasn't like it was horrible. We were a few plays away from changing that thing around, but we had to make some changes and had to change a few things in the program, and we had to change also our sense of urgency. So what happened is we went through some adversity, and we stuck to it and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to double down on our culture and work really hard and earn a better position to make things happen differently in 2024. And so as the guys went through that, we kept putting our nose to the ground, just getting to work. I'm just really proud of the way that they played. It's not error-free. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes still, but they're playing with high energy and high effort. And so the goal now is when I talk to them is that there's that thirst, that hunger to be as good as they can. And then when you quench that hunger, which is usually a big-time win, what it always says, if you think about when you're really, really hungry, if you guys are like me, you're even willing to eat broccoli, which doesn't sound great. You know what I mean? But you're willing to eat, when you're really hungry, you're willing to eat whatever's out there. And because that hunger, you want to satisfy it. And so same in football. You want to taste that win. You want to be at your best, and you want to be able to perform at a high level. But usually after you fill yourself up like Thanksgiving, if I'm just done with Thanksgiving dinner and you offer me a Big Mac, I'm probably going to still eat it because that's most people eat till their stomachs are full. I eat till my mouth gets tired. So I'll probably still eat it, but most people, they would turn it down because they've already satisfied their hunger. And so there comes this spot, the space of complacency. And that's natural. It's human. So to say that you're not going to feel that is it's impossible. You have to say, hey, you're going to feel a little bit complacent because you're full. But then on Sunday is when you can be full. Monday we got to be hungry again. And so Sunday is a good time to get spiritually fed and to be fed with the accomplishments of what we did in the team, with the game, and be happy about everything. But then there can't be that lasting effect, whether it's positive or negative. On Monday we got to get back to work. And so we encourage the guys to get back to being hungry again and to remember what it was like before, that we didn't do all this just for one game. We did this for the entire season. And so I know there's a lot of, and the crazy thing, there's a lot of doubters. We've been making statements along the way, but our job isn't to prove the doubters wrong, it's to prove ourselves right. So as we go through this, it's very encouraging to have fans that support you for how you play the game and what you do, not just on the result. I love that we raise money for Avery Johnson's principal, but I'm pretty sure we would have done it even if the result didn't go our way. That's us at our best. You guys all agree? Right? So same thing with the team, trying to get them to be at their best, which means get back to being humble. And we read in the Book of Mormon, pride can be very dangerous, so we got to bring them back down to earth. So as you guys see our players out in the public, just remind them, if you say the words hungry and humble, they'll know exactly what you're talking about. So that's the messaging that we're going through, is to get back to what it felt like when we didn't accomplish it. And the hunger is not quenched. It's just one game, and we got to move on to the next one. And so we mentioned that we party at night after dark. That was a real big party. We're looking forward to going to Waco, Texas, and partying at brunch. It's going to be a good brunch party for us, and I know it'll be early. We played at this position before, but this is a different team than what we've seen before. It's a really close team. I've said it before. The goal of putting these guys together and having them bond and love each other matters more than anything. They'll be more accountable. It's why things are working. Complementary football on defense and on offense and on special teams is working. So we're looking forward to being at our best and hopefully winning the middle 60 when we get to Waco, Texas. But we had great practice yesterday. It was awesome. Full of mistakes that we can fix, and we're going to make less mistakes today. We'll make less mistakes tomorrow, and then we'll clean it all up and be ready to roll by the time we get into Texas on Friday afternoon and get ready to play that game early Saturday morning. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I anticipate we're going to have questions. Is that okay? Yeah. Just love you guys so much, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have. And, yeah, so there we go. Go Cougs. Thank you. Yes.
Hey, Coach, thanks. Nice hat, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Great job. You have awesome coaches, assistant coaches. What is your strategy for keeping Jay Hill on your staff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna keep Jay Hill. I'm gonna. Yeah, but that's a priority to us. But Jay's loving working at BYU, and he's loving being here, and I'm fortunate to have him here with me. He's running the defense that I can identify with, and so the entire staff has done an amazing job. And Jay would say it's not just him; it's the defensive staff, offensive staff. These guys are amazing. We've been able to take advantage of some of the resources that our administration has given to us with analysts and consultants and things like that. So it's all working nicely. But yeah, he's important to me. It's important to us, and I think that the way you guys have treated him and his family, they love it here. So it's going to be awesome.
Can you tell us what the Kansas coach?
Repeat the question.
Can you tell us what the Kansas coach said to you?
The Kansas State coach. Oh, Kansas State coach. I don't know. Did he say? Yeah. He was just. He actually said congratulations. It was. Chris Kleiman is a really classy individual, and I gravitated towards him because he's super kind. Him and his wife Rhonda were awesome. We had a Nike retreat where all the Nike coaches get together, and with Phil Knight, and it's something that Lavelle started back in the day, was part of starting, and so I get to hang out with these coaches in a different element than on the competitive field, and man, I really liked them, and we hit it off, and they're super nice to my dad, Pops. My father's over here, and Pops is I took Pops because my wife, we have a baby girl that I don't think that the other coaches and their wives would appreciate a baby in her terrible twos crying all the time. So, but yeah, he was super kind. Just said congratulations and said that hey, it didn't go our way, but he actually said it that I'm really happy for you and proud that if this was going to happen, I'd rather happen to you than anyone else. And I did not expect that, but it got me super emotional. You know that what a great example he is to me, and what a wonderful person. So, yeah, I think you guys can cheer for Kansas State. They do it the right way. They really do. And yeah, and they got the right guy at the head of their program. I'll go here, then there. Yeah.
We get a lot of recruits there. I know you can't talk names, but were they impressed? Did they have a good experience?
Yeah. I'm sorry. The question was about recruits. Were the recruits impressed? What was that?
Repeat the question.
Yeah, I was right in the middle. The question is that about recruits, how the recruits were, how they felt about the game. So the recruits are always impressed when they come here and they get to be around our fans, and so that's always something that they leaves a lasting impression on them. The recruiting thing is always I want to recruit guys that want to be here. You know what I mean? I want to recruit obedient sons. I want to recruit young men that honor their parents. I want to recruit young men that care about, whether they're members or not, they care about the vision and the mission of our church and our football program. So that's going to be always the key. And the icing on the cake is that you get to be around amazing fans that will support you. But I hope they realize that, because we're dealing with times where everyone's about money, and that'll never be the focus here. Obviously, we have to take care of each other, and I mean, look at me. It's not like I'm starving. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's a focus that can be just completely on money to get players, and our focus isn't on that. Our focus is on what the mission is and how it aligns with the players, and if they can really do this, and if they want to do this wholeheartedly, it'll actually improve their life and make things so much better for them. And imagine the people that they get to meet that are like-minded. Chad said it, and the friends and the network that you're going to create. You know, people that you get to be mentored by. How do you put a dollar amount on that? And so when they get to see that, there's no other place in college football that can do what we do. And so some recruits, they see it, whether they're members or not. They can see the vision, and they say, hey, this is what I want to be a part of. And some choose not to, and that's okay. If you choose not to want to be a part of this, then that's fine. We're going to go play against you, and we'll see what happens. But I know that the focus on these young men isn't to just get them here and win games. It's to get them here and try to find ways to see how these young men can improve their life and become better. So actually, I think most coaches will tell recruits that if you come here to whatever school they represent, that will give you a chance to play great football, and then you have a chance to go to the NFL. And that's kind of like their promise, but that's not how I speak to these recruits. I say, listen, you're already on the path to success in terms of football. You're going to have, most of these recruits have a chance to play at the next level, right? And most of them will get a degree. So this is what the coaches are promising them: a degree at a great university and a chance to play at the next level. Well, they're already headed there. They can go to any school. You've seen it before. They can go to any school and have that promise. So it would be inappropriate for me to promise young men that. What I'll say is I'll turn to the parents and say, hey, this is what you've already done for your son. He's a great young man that's headed towards some really cool things in terms of football, a degree, and then a chance to play at the next level. But what I can promise you is that he's going to head towards the same goal as a person, as a father, and as a husband that you want him to be on. I'll make sure that he stays on that path to success, and then any time he steps off of it, I'm going to smack him back onto the path. That's what I'm good at. So that's really my recruiting promise, and there's a lot of people that want that, and a lot of people that want to be held accountable and want to match their potential as a person more than just a football player. I mean, Chad and I got to play for Lavelle Edwards. It was awesome. Chad, how much did Lavelle really talk about football with you and me? Very little. We talked about life, right? We talked about life. We talked about so many things, and it's the same thing. I see these young men, and it's great when we get to win games. But Hinckley Ropati and his wife just had a baby girl a couple nights ago. I'm so proud of him. And we're on the field yesterday, and I'm hugging him. I'm saying, hey, how's it feel? And he said, Coach, it's everything that you said and more. And then he said, how am I going to have another one? Because it's like I love this one so much. And I said, it becomes times 2 and then times 3. And then in my case, wait 12 years and then times 4. You know what I mean? So but you guys can all relate to that, and it wouldn't be just me mentoring him that way. He gets mentored by everyone that he comes into contact with. And that's why this city and this county and it's booming. It's why so many students go to UVU. That you remember, it used to be Utah Valley Community College, and then UVSC, and then now UVU, and it's the biggest college in the state, because they all want to be in this mecca of what we get to enjoy, which is basically the Spirit of God resides here, and it makes it easy for us to live in this environment. Anyways, that's what we're selling in recruiting. Sorry it took so long to answer that. I'll get back now to your question. Yeah.
We get an update on first and second string running back.
Update on first and second string running backs, L.J. Martin and Hinckley Ropati.
And then.
So there's 2 questions.
Yeah, and then.
Okay. So it's one question about 2 players, and then the second question is the third question.
Moa, who came out of nowhere, was extremely
Yeah.
impressive.
Okay, and then I'll see on the ones. First, L.J. Martin, we decided to hold him and heal him. He'll be back for the Arizona game. We've taken advantage of the bye week next week. We just think he'll be smart. I think he's trying so hard to get back on the field, but we have to weigh the fact is if he's playing at 85%, is he better than the other guys at 100? And then there's only so many reps to go around, so we have to spend reps on the guys that we know are going to be on the field. Otherwise, we're spending reps on him, and then we're not sure if he's going to be game time ready. So we had to make the decision and kind of relieve him from that and allow him to get healed. And I think, and if it goes the way it's looking, he'll be ready for Arizona. Hinkley Ropati's back now. He's at full strength. And new daddy, so all this stuff is going great. He doesn't have to stress about being at a game and his wife might deliver, so it's here. So, yeah, he's back, and then and he should be ready to go. I mean, he had great practice yesterday. And then Sione Moa, we have a good group of running backs. The goal was to be at this point now to have depth in every position. If you look at our team, we added depth in quarterback. We added depth in running backs. We had depth in a lot of different positions. What a lot of people don't realize is that we use Bruce Mitchell at guard. He's the third guy that started at guard for us this year. First was Sonny Makasini, and he got banged up, and then Austin Leusa got banged up, and he started the Wyoming game. So Bruce Mitchell stepped in, and a lot of people don't know that, but he did great. He was graded out as a champion. So that speaks to the depth and the talent in our depth and the coaching from Coach Woods and A-Rod and the rest of the group. So, and then nobody ever remembers the guy that didn't carry the ball and made the great blocks. So I know exactly how Bruce Mitchell feels. Like everybody's talking about the fourth string running back, but the third string guard didn't get any love. So, but to that, the other two guards are back now. So we're close to full strength at O-line. But we feel really good about the depth of the overall team. I don't want to test all the depth because I like the guys that are playing, but we know we need to. That with last year's move and the development where we're at, I feel really good about if we need to call on the backups to play. Yes. Yeah. So the question is the fourth down philosophy on, you said we're converting how much, 85% of the fourth downs? Yeah, I mean, Lavelle never went for it on fourth down, so that's the only thing that's like, I like going for it on fourth down. I think you can use all the downs up and you can work the probabilities, the numbers. So I'd like analytics, but I have to be careful with analytics because I have to go with a gut feeling too. Analytics will tell you that the fastest way out of a house is through the second floor, right? It's through the window. So if you want to go from the second floor to the ground, the window's the fastest. So I don't think a lot of people would take that route. So in analytics, it doesn't tell all the details of like injuries, the momentum, the play that's actually called, the confidence in that, how many times did we actually rep this. And so as I'm listening to the call and all those things, I got to get a good feel. So the SMU game, I just had a good feeling about it, and I liked the call. And then we had to take a timeout. And I had voices in my headphones telling me, let's just punt it. The defense is playing really good right now. And then I'm looking at Connor Pay and the rest of the offense, and I'm like, what do you guys think? And they're like, let's go, Coach. We like the call. I'm like, all right, let's go. And Caleb Etienne was like, Coach, I like it. Let's do it. And they're feeling loose, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna trust them. So the way we went, and then it worked out. But I've made decisions sometimes where because I'm just wishful wanting it to happen, and I gotta avoid the fan part of me wanting things to happen, even though it may not be the best choice. So the instincts have to take over a little bit too. And I do listen to people, but there's a lot of different variables that go into it. And then you have a small amount of time. And I would like us to convert more third downs, so I don't have to keep going to fourth down. But I think sometimes they're relying on it. Yeah, thank you. So I'm with you guys. The stress level of the fourth down is not the most comforting, but I think sometimes we can use the fourth down, willing to go for it, as a hindrance, if that makes sense, And there's nothing wrong with getting the first down on first and second and third down. So that we've got to go back to that. We got to refocus it and try to get things a little bit more improved on first, second, and third down. The way you win third down is you got to get more yardage on first and second. So we're working on all those things, and analytics will tell you do so many different stuff, but I like using practical things that we can actually get done, which is if you gain 4 yards on first and second down, you should have third and short. The problem is third and short, we weren't great either. But I think it's because, I mean, if you know that this is like you're gonna get another shot, you know what I mean? You guys played horse before? You guys all, yeah, because we have baskets in our church, so we better know how to play horse. So horse is like you miss the shot that someone makes, then you get the letter, but you always get two shots at the end, right? So knowing that, most of the people miss the first shot because they know they can count on the second shot. So I think my goal is just tell A-Rod, you're not going to have another shot. Just get the first down, the third down, and away we go. But because we can flip the field, and with the defense playing the way they are, we have to be really complimentary. So I'm open to all of it. I'm still learning, but I think it's going to be a lot better. We'll be more efficient on third downs. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was first, and then I'll come here. Yes. I see one on that side. Yeah. What did he say? What did he say? Oh, so you're a judge for 35 years? Are you still a judge? You retired 30 days ago. All right. Congratulations. Yeah, well, in retirement, write all the court orders you want. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Can you start with third downs first? Let's write one on third downs, and then we'll get to the overall game. Yeah. I'm counting on you, Judge, Your Honor. Okay. There was one here and one here, right? Okay, go ahead.
Has there been any thought to having a quarterback's coach?
Yeah, well, now with the new rule that you can have, so they passed a new rule that you can have as many coaches on staff as you want because all the big programs are doing it anyways. So you can have, so you can, but I think you don't want it to be watered down. But I think right now we have our analyst, that's Matt Mitchell is with our quarterbacks. A-Rod's with the quarterbacks as well, and he coordinates. But yeah, I think it's a tough task to call the plays and coordinate, and then also to be specified with the quarterback. So we are working on that with Matt Mitchell. And then I'm not a quarterback whisperer, but I like being in there, and all I say is ball security. That's all I really say. So yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we're open to all of it. If you guys know some great quarterbacks, let me know. But the rule passed right before the season started. And so that's because all the other guys already had their stuff in place. So we had some of that, but yeah, we work with the rules that come through in the real time, not just anticipating the rules. Question here. Yeah, the Kansas State doesn't. The question was, the mistakes were made on Kansas State's part. That's why we were able to capitalize and win the game and get the momentum swing, right? So, the fumble just doesn't happen. You have to force a fumble. But if you look at the interceptions, we brought pressure off the edge. Jacob Robinson was in the quarterback's face. He threw it quickly, overthrew a screen that Tyler Batty was dropping on, and he caught the interception. The second one. Pressure was coming from Tyler Batty. The quarterback stepped up and threw in a hurry, and he threw it right to Harrison, who was right there underneath, who dropped one earlier in the year against Southern Illinois, right? So this was redemption for him. And if he didn't catch it, Crew Wakely was making a beeline for it anyway. So the guys were on it. The throw was hurried because of the pressure that was put on him. So I know a lot of people are focusing on sacks, but teams like Wyoming, and then they get the ball out real quick, and they'd rather just have an incompletion and risk a sack. And so we anticipate teams are going to do that. But we got to get them in third and long so we can put them in a passing situation, because I think that's where we can create some havoc. But yeah, we'll take the fortunate ones that come our way, right? And because the fortunate ones are a muff punt that turns into a 90-yard touchdown, so. We'll take those, but you can control most of your luck or your fortune by working hard and focusing on the things, the fundamentals of everything. So we anticipate creating that some more. And the defense works because the guys have to do their 111th. If Jacob Robinson isn't there to force a hurry throw, then Avery Johnson's a good player. He's going to take time and make a nice throw, and that the ball's on the interception. It's what we've been lacking in the past. We need more pressure and need not really sacks as much as we need pressure to force sacks and force interception and fumbles and things like that. So this was first, and then I got these two here. Yes, back there. Hey, yeah, you stay humble and stay hungry. That's the goal. It's like it's the yeah yeah. I like the excitement and the energy, but we got to be focused on what we're doing this week, and our goal is to get the fifth game right now and make that fifth statement. So we're a lot of people don't realize, but we are the underdogs here, you know. So there's still a lot of people that don't know much about the team. So our guys still have a lot to prove, and we're gonna try to do something that a BYU football team has never done before in this conference, which is win on the road. And so we didn't win our games last year that we won were here at home. So we're trying to do something that's never been done before. That's motivating enough for our players. And so we can stay focused on this, then we'll be fine. I appreciate the positivity and optimism. I like it, right? But like let's get this next one, and then we can talk about it during the bye week. Okay, there's one here. Yes.
I was really impressed with that there were no holding calls last Saturday compared to the week before, and what a clean game they played. You guys did great to coach them not to hold.
Yeah, the question was that the holding penalties, that there were none. I think we had 2 penalties. Yeah, there's a delay game that we did on purpose, and then what was it? Oh yeah, that one's kind of like he probably shouldn't have done that, but I could see it was kind of like a bang bang play. But I was proud of the backup defense stopping them on 4th down, compared to the Wyoming game where they gave up a touchdown and gave up a bunch of yards. It's why we do these reps. Those will be valuable to the development for those guys. Yeah, I mean, the focus is to be disciplined. We want to be the most disciplined team on the field. And if we can be smart and play smart, good things will happen. I mean, we just can't, when you talk about errors, those are the ones that you can control, the administrative errors. Yeah, so if we can play clean football like that, we'll be good. And that's the goal, is to stay more disciplined. We should be the most disciplined team. There's another question here. Or here, yes, ma'am, then you. That's a joke? I can repeat the joke. What is it? I don't know how to say that to everybody. So the plays are coming from heaven. Yeah. Huh? Do we have? Oh, you're asking if I have ever had one of those? All the ones that work. Yeah. But hey, that's. You know, we're taught to always have a prayer in our heart. I'm going to tell A-Rod and hurry up off and say a quick prayer before every call, especially on 3rd down. We need those calls right away. Yeah, thank you for that comment. There's another one right here, and then we'll go there, then there. Yes. Said in the current NIL environment, how's BYU poised to succeed? The revenue share, I think the decision is going to be made tomorrow, on the 26th. Yep, tomorrow. And everyone's anticipating that every school is going to be able to use rev share, which is a compensation for student athletes to play, and that's I think it's going to be anywhere from 20 to 23 million a year, which is a lot of money. And so the administration is going to have to figure out how to break that down and how to pay it out. And I'm embracing the NIL because I want good players here, but I want great character first, you know. And when you mix money and football, and then you try to get character, sometimes it's hard to figure that out. I want the guys who want to be here for the right reasons, and then we're able to compensate them for the right things. But they're also the ones that are going to make good decisions with their money. I think in the college you're supposed to know the dollar menu of every fast food restaurant. That's kind of part of the experience. You know what I mean? Now it's like $2 menu. I don't even know what it is anymore. Big Mac meal. I love McDonald's. That's why I'm talking about McDonald's. Maybe they could be a big time corporate sponsor for us. But a number one used to cost like $4.99. Now it's like $10. You know. So, anyways, yeah, I think we're in the right spot. We have innovative people and creative people in our administration that can get it done. Chad and Liz and Tom and Brian and all of them that can figure it out for us. It's just a matter of what's fair. But I would hope that we can recruit young men and young women that when they give them a lump sum of money, that they learn how to put it away and to put it into a fund that can create money for them for the future. And I think they can take some. That's what we're going to encourage them to do. We can't tell them what to do with the money, but we encourage them, and we have all these different people to help them out, kind of just lined up for them. So it's going to be a really cool thing. I just don't want a bunch of guys driving like really, really expensive cars because we know what type of decisions those are. But I also want to have them avoid making disastrous decisions with finances, and so that's what we're trying to teach them all that stuff. But the people that care and are responsible and know how to be disciplined this is gonna appeal to them. The ones that just want the cash and that's all they want, it's not gonna work, and we're not gonna recruit those kids. Yeah, sorry, down here, and then here, there.
So I had a comment. One of our players blocked the Kansas City player, and he was on the ground, and he gave him a hand to lift him up. I was quite impressed with that.
So she said that one of our players blocked somebody from Kansas State and then helped him up afterwards, right?
Thought that was really
And she was impressed by that.
And a question I had, I was so excited and wondered what was happening on that punt return. And I was wondering if there was some sort of a record made there, or it was such a long.
And then the other
return.
question is on the punt return, such a long return, is it a record made? I think the record was my anger and delight in a small short of time. So that's part of the record. I don't want this to be a record, you know, like just do it the old-fashioned way. Catch it, run for 70 yards, and we can be happy about that. And the sportsmanship part, we encourage our guys to help other guys up on the football field. Sometimes it's hard when they're going no huddle and they're doing tempo and stuff like that, but it's supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be fun. Yes. Jack Kelly's, the questions about Jack Kelly and his skills. Jack Kelly's played in this defense when he was at Weber, so it's an easy transition for him. It's the same language, a lot of the same language that we were when me and Jay were coaching together. So, but Jack understands it, just like Eddie Hecker did and Camden did last year. So that's why Mark Collins is doing a great job with it as well. And so yeah, he's got tons of skill. He's only a junior, you know, so we should have him around for a couple years, and I anticipate him making a lot of plays for us. Do we use him as a spy? Yeah, in football terms, yes, yeah, but we can also use the other guys, Glasker, and we have our linebackers are really fast, and it's a really deep position as well.
Parker is a great athlete. He's very fast, but he seems to be running backwards several times and catching punts. Have you ever considered having a start quarterback so he's running forward?
Yeah, the question is about Parker running backwards on the punts. The Kansas State punter is erratic. If you look at his punts, he sprays them all over the place, and so we try to find him in the easiest spot to locate it. If ever he's in a compromised position, he should just let it go, like what game night. He should have just Saturday night probably just let that one go, and then we just live and play with the ball. But once you touch it, you're committed. You know, you better find a way to make it better. So, yeah. So every week we look at the punter and their distance, and then we watch them, gauge them pre-game, see how they're kicking. Because a lot of times when they get up here in altitude, the ball carries a little further. But it's kind of hard. I think we have to find that moment. It's a lot easier to run up onto a punt, but even that sometimes puts you in bad position. So it's a hard skill to master. He's still working on it. He's only this is only his second year doing that. So I think he'll get better at it. Yeah. Yes. I'll go here then there. Yep. Yeah, the comment was that the linemen stand straight up on some run plays. When you're 6'7", it may look like you're standing straight up, but a lot of times it's like with a lot of D lines that we're facing, a lot of the stunts and movement, it's hard to gauge if you're firing out, you're going to miss them. And so when you're catching blocks is what we kind of have to do sometimes with all the movement from different D lines. That's the only way to do it. If you can picture our 5 linemen moving forward and people swimming and going underneath, you're going to miss them. It's hard to control your body going forward, just low and powering out. In the quarterback sneak, they can all do it because they know where the ball is going, they know where the defense is at, and they know what they're trying to accomplish. In a wide zone or inside zone type of run, you have to really be matched up on man to man, and then let the back figure it out. And then some plays like power, you're trying to actually move individuals. And if that person disappears, you move on to the next one. So our scheme is much like everybody else, where you're trying to account for everybody in the gaps. And the thing that could really hurt the most is a free hitter, which is what we saw a lot of last year, which would end a run game. So, does that make sense? Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. One more? Okay, right here. What did he say? There's a bad mistake on what? Oh, the replay official. Okay. I don't know what to think anymore on that stuff. I mean, I'm just gonna work with whatever. So when it goes to replay, I have to review what the possibilities are gonna be, and then I just have to be able to react to either one. So on that one, I was just like, okay, we're gonna get the ball at the half-yard line, and I was kind of moving on to the offense. And when they announced it, I was like, okay, well then we'll just go stop them on 4th down. They chose to kick the field goal. I don't know what to say. but I mean, at least they have a camera on the goal line now. That would have helped out with us in a couple games. You know what I mean? A few years back. But I don't know if they need to put a camera on the sideline now so they can see if someone's actually out or not. And so I don't know. But we just adjust with whatever. I just don't want it to take 10 minutes for them to make a decision. I'd rather just keep playing ball. And we can live with the mistakes. It'll be all right. You know what I mean? So, but I think that if you get consumed always complaining about things, I just don't want to. I'm not at my best when I'm always complaining about stuff that I can't control. I just rather control the stuff, which is our players, and what are we going to do if it doesn't work out our way, and how are we going to respond to this. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not always perfect. I'm human too, guys. Just like you. I can get angry sometimes. So I don't like myself when I'm angry. I like myself when I'm having fun and I have a Big Mac in my hand. All right. Hey, I just want to end by saying I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. Chad, love you. Thank you for the way you do things. The more we go through this and then being in this conference, I think the more people will recognize what this place is all about. And this place isn't just a building, it's the people inside. You guys make it work. And it's an honor for me to be your coach. So love you guys. Go Cougs.
That was outstanding. It was so good. So grateful for Kalani and the staff. Now, as he goes back to start his meetings, we're going to do our giveaways. So